Hi, cozy friends. I don't know about you, but I am in major need of a getting my life together, revamp, overhaul. But you know me, I am not one to hustle and grind. I want to approach everything with a gentle and soft approach that leads with self-compassion and the knowledge that we need to listen to our bodies. Gila, hello, baby. We don't need to work ourselves to the bone. We don't need to push past our limits. We just need to create a life that we are happy to wake up to every day. So I want to revamp some areas of my life, but with a gentle approach, with a self-compassionate approach. But I'll go down the list of the areas I want to touch. Okay, so my revamp areas are my routine, which you guys know I've been using my sheets. I have these little printed out sheets. I just typed on a Word document with check boxes. So that routine system has really been helping me. I just want to revisit it. I want to tweak a few things. The next is my mornings, which have started to look different now that spring is here and we're tending to the garden more. And so I've been spending a lot more intentional time outside and just being more diligent about watering. Social media, I just want to touch base with y'all about how that's going. My social media cleanse. Spoiler, really well. Really well with some caveats. Yeah, I just want to touch on that for this revamp. And that also is part of revamping everything in my life, is that really flipped things upside down and has changed the trajectory of how I'm thinking and operating on a day-to-day basis. So that has already been a huge revamp. The next is home. I'm on a journey of decluttering my home. It feels like it's never ending, but I'm also really trying to tackle some big portions of it this week and just selling some more things. Next is solo time. I want to revamp what my solo time looks like a little bit. Take myself out on a little date, treat myself, not in a splurge way, not in spending money on myself, just treating myself to a nice experience and seeing what that feels like for a change. Okay, the next one is work. I want to do just some lingering tasks and then maybe do a little batch filming just to explore what that feels like in my schedule and see if that maybe frees up some free time for me. Next is budget. I really want to create a couple budget trackers for my own personal goals and then just chat through how I'm approaching my budget these days. And then the last big category is my hobbies. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with my hobby journey, but I would definitely like to return to a few activities this spring. And so I'm thinking of a particular one, but we'll have to wait and see. And then lastly, as a whole, I kind of just want to set intentions and I want to just check in with myself and how I'm feeling and accountability and see where I want to be. Hopefully use that as a guide to bring this one moment of revamping through the rest of the year and really make it stick. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it, and let's get into the first thing. All right, y'all. The first thing I want to get together in my life is my routine. It's been much easier with the sheets that I talked about, but I want to just keep myself honest with it. So that means revamping this, which we'll do together in a bit. But this really does keep me honest because I picked this up as soon as I got to filming and was like, wait, I haven't done most of these things on this list, which is really the point of this. I want to hear not to create rigidity, but to create accountability. So I can do these things out of order. I can do it whatever makes sense for me that day. But just looking at this and going, oh, I did not fill up my water. The things I didn't do because I excitedly jumped right into a project, or I wanted to be downstairs with Ryan and we watched a little show this morning. Those things, that's what life is about. It's about an ebb and flow and moving with the with the feeling of the moment. So we're getting to it this morning, okay? I'm not messing around. So the things I didn't do, I didn't go downstairs and do my water and my smoothie, so we can do that. I also didn't do a lot of my skincare stuff, so let's do that first. I just put on clothes and jumped right into it. Let's take care of ourselves. Come on. All right, let's go make a smoothie. water, check. Okay, so my smoothie combo is a good tropical blend. I love a tropical blend. Then my friend's mom, beautiful home, and she sent us home with like a bunch of succulent and like cacti. No, I think it was all succulent. Succulent, like agave, aloe variants. Just sent us home with like literally 2 bags full of clippings. And so then Ryan and I got home that day and just spent hours like planting them all. So then now they're like scattered all over, and I'm hoping that they grow to be as like varied and beautiful as hers are in her yard, because her yard is so beautiful. At this point I like to add liquids. So this was at either Aldi or Grocery Outlet, I don't know which one, but it was one of those, so I just picked that up. And then I have some kefir, probiotic elements. I mixed that between, I do either yogurt or kefir, sometimes both when I'm feeling a little crazy. I'm like crazy. This is Maya's little mix of pumpkin seeds, hemp, chia, and flax. Just do a tablespoon of that. And I just had some in my overnight oats that I made for myself this morning. You guys, not to keep blabbering, but my capacity to like actually do things for myself has drastically increased after my social media cleanse. Like, I don't know if it's just like having the hours in the day, or if it's like a mental clarity and like just an energy. Like I don't have like a deficit of dopamine and motivation to do things anymore. So then I actually will like, I made breakfast in advance for myself the days before. Like that, unheard of, you guys. Unheard of. Again, the last time I was doing things like that, the last time I actually like wanted to spend time prepping anything for myself was like pre-algorithms, pre-swipey apps. It was when I was like in college and stuff. So I don't know, there's something to that. Okay, I'm gonna add some powders. Protein, fiber. They're both having a moment, but it's because they're important. So protein and fiber, I add a lot of fiber to this. And then I'm using a greens powder. Right now I'm doing the Factor one. I do love a green, I just don't like, unless they're in my meal delivery meals, I don't really cook for myself in a way that includes greens, even though I wish I did. So I like to make sure I'm getting greens in, even if it's in powder form. Now I'm thinking I'm just gonna add a little bit of water, just a splash, just a smidge. Now there's a mourning dove up there, really just swinging. He's so cute. There was a family out there the other day. They were so cute. Okay, and then I used the Beast blender. I don't have any thoughts about it, really. It's a blender. Yay! Look at that beautiful smoothie. Okay, now let's go upstairs, work on a routine, hammer that out. right. Hi. Hello. We're smoothied and watered, and I should probably start drinking this before it gets gross. It is time to revamp our routines. I just have a Word doc with everything up, and I'm gonna go through and see basically what's changing. Check notifications only is something I have in my like bed area, and I don't check my notifications at all. Like I don't do my phone at all in bed now, post my social media cleanse that you will never stop hearing about. For now, I'm taking that off, and this is like a living document, so I can add it back if that ever changes, but for now, I just don't do that. I just get up first and then have phone time later, where I'm like checking work stuff. Yeah, those are just some examples, but I'm gonna start working on that now. So if you wanna work on it together, do your own routine, now's the time. Let's revamp. All right, you guys, I finished, so I'm just gonna print this off and put the new sheets and put the new sheets in these sleeves. I love having a printer. Okay, I have all the new ones and they're correct, so I'll put them in the correct sleeves. And I actually remembered to print on both sides instead of last time I did not. New sleeves already. Our routine is revamped. Let's get into the budget. But first, I want to talk with y'all about our cozy partner, Quince. Thank you, Quince. We always appreciate Quince for sponsoring these videos because it helps me to keep them going. So we love that. It took an embarrassingly long period of my adult life to realize that cutting corners and buying something cheap actually can become more expensive over time. You're buying and something falls apart and has holes in it. Buy like 5 wears and then you're buying something of a similar price and quality over and over again. But that's where Quince came into my life and I realized you can have both. You can have affordability and quality and I don't have to compromise, and I love that. Quince makes it so easy to shop for premium materials and elevated essentials for every part of your life at prices that make upgrading a no-brainer. They have 100% European linen apparel. They've got bamboo bedding and linen bedding. I have it. I love it. Ceramic nonstick cookware. Quince covers every room, outfit, occasion. And every Quince product comes from factories that meet strict, ethical, and responsible manufacturing standards. There's no middlemen. There's no shortcuts. Just high-quality products directly to you, fair price. Also, everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Plus, their bestsellers have like over 3,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot to back that up. So, you know they're good. Okay, we're coming upon summer. There's no better time than summer to refresh your wardrobe. We're revamping everything in our lives right now, so why not also revamp your wardrobe, your home, your kitchen, whatever you need. And their best-selling styles move fast, so you're gonna wanna check out that website. Some of the Quince products I love. These tanks, they are so thick. It's been 2 years for sure. And it looks like the day I got it. This fisherman sweater, it's 100% organic cotton. Lately, I've been trying to get the synthetic fibers out of my wardrobe, and Quince has a lot of good options for that. So if you want to elevate your summer for less, you can head to quince.com/cozyk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That is QUINCE.com/cozyk for free shipping and 365-day returns. Thank you, Quince. Okay, let's get to our budget. We've got a lot to chat about with the budget. All right, y'all. So next is budget. First things first, my approach to budgeting has changed drastically in, I would say, like the past 2 to 3 months. And I've been just much more attuned with my budget and much more, I don't know, intimate with my budget, because I will talk about this in a little bit more detail in the upcoming Q&A that we'll have together. But essentially, my goals for myself just look different in the future now. Like, I have come to terms with the fact that I no longer want to be on a perpetual hamster wheel chasing a goalpost that is forever moving for myself of what success means and what success is. Just constantly chasing something that will never really have an endpoint if I don't find it for myself. And that's really where I am right now. Like, I feel like I reached all of my goals that I had for myself. I reached a level of success and security that I'm very, very content and happy with, like beyond. And I was in this mindset as like an overachiever, high achieving person for my whole life. I always move the goalpost for myself. And that is a good thing in many ways. It's a good thing in many ways. And it's a good thing when you're challenging yourself to try new things and learn new things. And that's one thing. That's good. But when it comes to like your end goal, really, like having a goal, like a lifelong goal for yourself of general growth, that's a good thing. Having a lifelong goal for yourself of always doing better and better and better and better, and not understanding what that better means to you or if that better is actually serving you, I think that's a totally different thing. For me, better and better and better does not mean more money. It does not mean more accolades. It does not mean more traditional definitions of the word success. That is not better and better and better and better in my eyes anymore. For some people, I think it is. And for them, maybe that is what will bring them joy and happiness in life. For me, I realized that is not what brings me joy and happiness in life. What brings me joy and happiness in life is being able to live in my purpose and feel like I'm doing what I love to do, which is what I'm doing right now. I love doing this. I love creating. I love connecting with people and forming community over things that I'm excited about in my biggest joys in life. But I don't need to reach new heights in a career that allows me to do that every single year. Like, that is just not what's going to bring me joy. What's going to bring me joy is a life that lets me do that umbrella of things sustainably for the rest of my life. And again, that's a very privileged place to be. It's a very privileged position to say, like, my goal is not more money. Like, yeah, okay. You know, like, not everybody gets that privilege. For me, getting to a place of security and success in my own goals allowed me to be like, okay, so that wasn't the thing that I was chasing. What I was chasing was choice. What I was chasing was fulfillment. What I was chasing was community and creativity and expression. And I can do those things at any level. And I could do those things in any way that feels right to me. So all of that to say, I know this is kind of a personal blab, but all of that to say, like, my priorities have shifted. My vision for what, like, I want my future life to look like has shifted. And this has been like a long process. It's like over a year, honestly, of unpacking this all. My goal now is to be able to create a secure life for future me where I can choose to do all of the things that I love to do. And I do not have to do them out of obligation, because that just breeds resentment and stress and dwindling passions. But when I can provide a future for myself that doesn't require me to do anything at all, and I can just live life and choose what I want to do each day, then I can opt into creativity and creating and doing this and all of that stuff. And I want to be able to do that sustainably for the rest of my life without ever feeling like it's an obligation. So if I was in a 9-to-5, it would essentially be my goal shifting to wanting to do FIRE, or FIRE, which is financial independence, retiring early. So it's essentially when people feel like they're maybe at their peak of their career or their like highest earning potential, they lower their living expenses, lower their cost of living, and save as much as possible so that they can stop working as soon as possible and live a life of freedom, financial freedom, and be able to choose what they want to do every day. If I was in a 9-to-5, that's essentially what I'd be doing. My process looks a little different because I work for myself and I work as a creative. So it's not that I want to get to a point where I don't create anymore, or I'm not like doing social media anymore. It's just I want to get to a point where I have freedom to choose what that looks like. Because right now, even though it is a creative job that has a lot of fun elements to it, you are still on a hamster wheel. Like, you do have to output every single week, and what you put in is what you get out. And so it's this kind of cycle and hamster wheel that I don't think is sustainable for most people unless you have a plan of action. And for me, that plan of action is shifting my budget and my plans so that I can create that financial freedom and safety for myself in, 5 or so years, to where, like I said, I'm not reliant on social media. I am choosing to do social media because I love it and I want to do it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And in turn, that would make it more sustainable for me. Rather than like a 9 to 5, it would be like, it's because I want to quit and I never want to work again. But because I love what I do, it's more about just financial freedom in general and being able to say no to as many things as I want, which I already do, but being able to say, no, I'm tired. I'm not going to do that extra brand deal that month or whatever because I don't want to. I don't need or want to. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. And as somebody who has always known social media from the very beginning, I've always known social media is a fleeting love. It's fickle, it's fleeting. And I've known from the start that this is not going to last forever, at least in the sense of like, I don't know, it might last forever in some ways, but it's going to look completely different. And so how it looks right now should not be taken for granted, and it should be basically mined for as much energy that I have to put into it. And so that's been my mindset ever since starting social media. And so because of that, I've also been already an aggressive saver and investor. And that's what's allowed me to do certain things in my life, is that I promise humbly, I have been very smart about my money, which again, I've been in a privileged position to be able to do. Saved a shit ton, I've invested a shit ton, and I have made sure to, always max out everything. This shift is more about me leaning more into that, leaning even more into that and creating parameters for myself and creating like challenges for myself. Like this past month, I did a really, really low spend challenge, and just like seeing all of that extra money at the end of the month and being like, what on earth was I spending this on when I went through this whole month, I survived, it wasn't even that hard. And like, where did all of that go? Even though I am an aggressive saver and whatever, and like I theoretically could spend that, what the hell is the point when I could be putting that towards the future freedom that future me could have, So that's that mindset shift, and that's my new budget that I've created over the past 2-ish months, really, is really, really lowering my expenses and really, really upping the savings and investings. And I know that is a huge privilege that not everybody has right now. A lot of people can barely even cover all of their bills, much less put aside money. But if you do have a little bit extra to put aside, this is just my approach to it. So jokingly in the household, I've been saying that I've been saves maxing. And anytime something comes up, I'm like, saves maxing. And that is actually like making it into a little jokey joke thing has really helped to feel more like proud of it than feel like, oh no, I'm saving money right now. It's like, no, I'm saving money right now. I'm saves maxing and I'm doing it for future me. And I feel less weird about like telling friends like, oh, sorry, I can't, whatever, because I'm saves maxing. And like just always having that out and that emergency exit almost of like, oh, saves maxing. Like it's like your little flag on the play and you don't have to like come up with a new excuse every time. That's really helpful. And then the other really helpful thing for me is like having a why. And this is what I always heard financial advisors say, and like finance people on YouTube say, like, have your why. And I'm like, okay, my why is saving money. Like, what do you mean? like, I want security. But genuinely having a why outside of just like an elusive, large umbrella goal of saving money has been so transformative in how I've approached my budget and how I feel about actually saying no to things and saying, no, I'm gonna not, get that little treat and treat myself today because of this, because you always have your why. For me, the why is financial freedom in the future. Yay, like me not having an obligation to do anything that I don't want to do, and I can just like choose how I spend my day, because like what is the point of waking up every day and leading a quote unquote successful life when you are burning the stick at both ends, whatever it's called. Truly having that goal in front of you, that's like you are looking at future you just so happy, I'm looking at future me right now, and she's ecstatic because she has financial freedom and she can choose to wake up and be creative and create things. So starting with both having a little explanation for why you're doing what you're doing and having your why, your little outward external explanation and your inward explanation, and having those link up to fight crime. And then the next thing I would say to do is to just create a spreadsheet, and it could be the most bland, simple spreadsheet ever. Google Sheets, it's free. Look through your transactions, look through your cards, and just do a one-to-one. Write them out so that you're forced to see with your own eyes what is happening, what your spending looks like. And then you're able to determine, okay, what is a fixed expense versus a variable? What's something I have to spend on every month? And this is that chunk, and that's always going to come out. So then I can have room for my variable expenses that need to come out, but they kind of shift, and maybe I can have a little wiggle room and lower those a bit if needed. And then you have everything else that isn't maybe necessary. And figuring out what that spread is across your income, and figuring out what you have room for and what you can lower. I have a little spreadsheet, very easy, very simple formula of like summing up all of the expenses. And then if it goes over the goal amount that I have, that's like really low right now for me, while I'm doing this low spend challenge, it turns red if it goes over, and it's green if it stays under or is equal to. I've been green and it's been eye-opening, I will say. And I also have caught so many things in my transactions that usually would take me a couple of months to find. But now, because I'm so locked in on my transactions and I basically update it like every other day or any day where I leave, I'm like, oh, I spent money. I go home, I update it. I catch transactions that's like, oh no, it's a yearly subscription I wasn't using, and I have to call them and be like, hey, I know this just went through, but can you cancel it? And sometimes they're nice enough to cancel it. But finding ways through all of your transactions to lower as much as possible and create little challenges for yourself. And then third, I would say, is canceling subscriptions. Rocket Money has that subscription tracker. You can go and see what is just going that you forgot about. And it is so nice to just clear those out. I would say those are the main things. And then everything else would be getting more into the weeds of where you're putting your money once you're saving it, whether it's like the percentage of savings for high yield savings account versus brokerage account versus like 401k, which for me is a solo 401k because I'm self-employed. All of that is a little more in the weeds, and I recommend looking at like finance YouTubers for that information, because I have no, I cannot explain all of that. It would take me like 2 hours of yapping to get there. Clearly it's taking me this long to talk through this. That is getting more in the weeds. This is like simple. However you want to start. So many of you are so intelligent and wise and experienced that you probably know all of this, but if you don't and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like I just turned 20 and I feel like I don't know where to begin, or I feel like I don't have the room to begin, just start with familiarity with how you spend. And I know it can be scary. There can be like shame wrapped in it, but like just releasing that, journal about it if you need to, but releasing that feeling and really making it like a fun experience where you are holding yourself accountable and you are doing little challenges and you are working for that future happy you, it changes the game for sure. All of that to say, I want to work on some sticker charts, and there are a couple of goals that I have. One of them is not fun. One of them is just like, I have to remember to move money from my business account in 2 transactions to my solo 401k account because they can't do it manually. So I have to just like move those over every month. I used to just do a huge chunk at the end of the year and just throw it in, but now I'm like, it's probably better to just do it monthly. So I just have a sticker chart to make sure I'm on top of that. And then I have a sticker chart that is for my emergency fund. And part of my big financial freedom plan is beefing that up to a degree that's like 8 to 12 months right now. I don't know. I have like a decent amount, but I want it to be like 8 to 12 months of emergency savings. And that's obviously going to be stuck in a high yield savings account. Right now I have it in Pi Bank, which has like a 4% APY. That's just the highest I found recently. So I'm just going to keep it in there until that lowers, and then I can move it over somewhere else if that works better for me. That's the goal. I have it stretched over 10 months because that's my contribution goal spread until I hit my goal. Yeah, it's only 10 months. 10 months. 10 months flies by. And it flies by even more when we have a cute chart to keep track of it. So if you want to do something cutesy to hold yourself accountable for budgeting, and you want to revamp your budget, you want to get back on track with how you spend and how you save, this is, I think, the way to do it. Everything else, obviously, I'm shoving a lot of money into investments as well, but that's all getting into the nitty-gritty that you guys probably don't care about. So let's make our sticker charts. I actually have like the bare bones of it fleshed out for both. I just want to do cutesy little decorations and then print it out. But now we have this page. It's emergency savings fund. I'll show you. Emergency savings fund. Ignore this one down here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My goal, I will just write this in so y'all aren't seeing my business. And then that goal is basically split up over these 10 months. And that is what I'm going to print for that. And then I have my 401k contributions. I have to do one for employee and employer since I'm both. And it's just June through December. And then I have a 2026 top off and a 2025 top off because I need to top off both. Everything that was before May, actually, because I did my May ones. Yay, let's print both of these off. I have been loving, in our yearly reset, we did the little punch cards, which I realized only after the fact were too big for an actual like punch hole puncher. So I've just been putting like stickers on them, I think. But I've been loving having like a physical tracker for something. It just feels so much more real. And so these are gonna be so fun. So let's print. Why isn't it printing? Oh, I unplugged it. Literally, why isn't it printing? Why do you think, girl? Got one. Yay! 401k and emergency savings. This one's like a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I'm gonna just cut off that bit. Yeah, I've got to update these because I definitely have kept up with a lot of those. I wish I had a laminator so that I could laminate these. I'm just gonna put them on this bulletin board. Okay, so that one's there, and this one can go here. There we go. Okay, let me get some stickers. I have these little Gudetama ones, so I'm gonna use those. Month 1, we did it! Yay! That'll be for next month. And let's update these ones. I gotta check my Goodreads. Is my Goodreads blocked on brick? No. And I have 2 more. Oop. I have 2 more. I have 2 more. 2 more. And then I just finished another one, so this is another 2 more. Yay! Oh my gosh, you guys! Look at that. We only have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 more books to hit our yearly reading goal, at least on here. I might have a different one on Goodreads, I don't know. Yay! We are making great progress on that, I'd say. Craft projects, let's see. I think that's it. Is that it for now? I feel like there's one more thing I'm missing. I don't know. I can't think of it, so we'll just leave it at 3. So I have a little bit of work to do, but I don't like to think of it as work, so I'm not gonna put pressure on myself. Movement goal, I've actually been so consistent with this. These are just tracking months, like each month that I've stayed consistent and I haven't missed a week. We're in January, February, March, April, and May. Yay! Clothing low buy, this is one that's definitely gonna be more starting now. So I would say definitely I could put one down for May. Definitely not March and April because I was doing a lot of thrifting with the gift card Ryan got me. It wasn't my money though, but let's see, January, February. So I would just say, I'd say we've done 1 month of that, which means I don't know that we're gonna hit this goal by the end of the year, which is actually fine because the reward, I did one closet splurge, and isn't the goal not to get more closet stuff? I don't know. Okay, but we're on track for reading and movement at least, so that's cool. Hey, half and half. Okay, y'all, and my last category for today at least is work. So I'm just gonna tackle some work things I've got to do, stay on top of that, get ahead a little bit. Let's get started. The first thing is cutting out these letters that I printed for a video intro that I want to do. And again, I'm gonna keep talking about this social media cleanse because it's worth it, you guys. But it has allowed me to like really have space in my head for more creative ideas. And this is just one of those examples of them, I think. Like, I don't know that I would have thought to do this if I was scrolling in the middle of all the things that I have to do. I probably would have just opted for like the easier thing to do instead of the thing that like is fun and sparks my joy and creativity. So just another thank you to my social media cleanse. Okay, I'm gonna get to cutting these. I might put on a YouTube video while I do it, actually. my allotted like 5 YouTube videos a day. Also, some of you guys have asked for my like recommendations, my video essay recommendations, and I literally like I don't have one person to recommend because they just pop up. Like it's like the most random. My algorithm is blessed, is all I'll say. Like I just get the most interesting video essays on my feed. But I think that's the thing is like once you find one, it starts serving you a bunch of really interesting ones. So just like think of something you want to know more about or you want someone's opinion on, click a couple videos in that niche, and then it'll start recommending you good video essays. Lately I've been watching a lot of like finance stuff just to like keep my brain on that and keep me motivated. So that's what I've been watching. Yay! Okay, so here's my spread. I think I will do it actually right here too. I'm doing 4 hobbies that stop the scroll, and I'm doing specifically hobbies that like replace the motivation, like the things that motivate you to scroll, the things that pull you towards scrolling, because not every hobby really quells that or like really scratches the itch. So I'm focusing on the ones that actually do. Yay, isn't that cute? Oh, I think I'll do this. There we go. That's cute. Okay, I'm gonna film the intro to this. I don't know if I'm gonna do like stop motion or like a bunch of hands sliding them in, but we shall see. Let's experiment. Oh, I might be able to put them where I want and then slide them out and do it in reverse. Where's my C? Where's my C? Oh my god, I didn't have a C. How does this happen? Okay, so because I'm gonna do it in reverse, I'm gonna do the same system, but in the beginning, I'm gonna move them around a little bit so that they wiggle a bit at the end. It'll be at the end after I put all the letters up. If it's in reverse, I'm putting all the letters up and then they're gonna wiggle a little bit, but I need to do that in the beginning. Does that make sense? Okay. I messed up right at the end, but I think I can cut it. I think that's fine. Let's see. And it's nice because if I want to do like a part 2, 3, 4, 5, I can just use the same intro. So I'm not, using up more paper. Oh my gosh, it's turning out so cute. You guys will see this long before this goes out, but now you can see the BTS. Okay, so this is how it looks, not sped up, and then I want to speed it up, I think. that cute? Okay, so I'm gonna try and get it. Let's do 5x. That's cute. Okay, that's cute. Cute, quick, snappy. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna film the rest of this video and then try and edit that and get that up. Yay, success. All right, y'all, I just spent like 2 hours finishing that up and editing and posting, and I love, this is why I love creating. I love being a creator, is like the moments when I actually feel excited about an idea and I saw it through from start to finish. I brought it out of my head mind palace and I made it real, and it's just so exciting. And it's like, I love being proud of something. There's a lot of days when like I know I just like have to put something out and I just to keep up consistency, and so sometimes like my heart isn't in it, you know. I like stick to a regular format that I'm used to and I just kind of like throw it together and I make it as best as I possibly can for that day, but like my heart isn't in it as much. There's not as much like excitement and creativity, and I just love the moments when I do feel that way. It just makes me feel so validated and like I'm doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing, you know? So those are always great moments, and I feel like just reflecting on sustainability as a creator, this is, I guess, for anyone that, well, I think this really applies to anything that you're interested in, is like reflecting on the moments, and this is what I need to keep doing, reflecting on the moments that allow for that feeling and give you that feeling, and like the moments leading up to it, the moment of, and like the following feelings, the residual feelings, and like reflect on how to recreate that without forcing it, and how to create that, just organically, and how to like give yourself space for that. For me, I've been learning a lot this year. It is having downtime, like having rest, and actually having time to stop not scrolling and stop and just like let my mind wander and let my mind go blank, because then I get ideas, and I get exciting ideas and fun ideas and silly ideas, and they don't all come into fruition, but when they do, it's like something that I am proud of and was actually fun to create, and that's always fun. So I feel like that truly goes for anything in life, like figuring out how to find joy and excitement in things, and in things you know you love, but like something's holding that love back these days, you know, just figuring out how to accommodate and bring that love back in little ways, and excitement and joy. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do these days, y'all, in this crazy world. Okay. Because it is easy to let like the world and the external things affect how you feel about things that you love too. Like, it's not just internal work that you have to do. Sometimes it's external factors you can't control, and that sucks. And it's like, well, my day is shot because something terrible happened in the world, or like something is happening to me that I can't control. But yeah, I'm still exploring ways to combat that and handle that. So I don't know, you guys let me know how you handle that. Okay, you guys, I still have to film my brand deal, and thank God we still have some sun, but that is actually the last thing I have to do today. I'm so excited because we were watching YouTube videos about like the history of Babylon and the like pyramids of Giza. That was our vlogs of choice 2 nights ago. And then I think yesterday it was like tech reviews, or because I love a tech review, and what was the other one? Oh, apartment tours. Sometimes we like to watch apartment tours in places that we might want to live in the future, because y'all know me, I like to move, I love change. And so we've been looking at like the OGs know Portland has always been a place on my list. I almost moved to Portland before I moved to LA. Like, that was on the plan. I was like, I want to move to Portland. I have friends up there. Ryan has family up there. And we ended up just moving to LA because we were like, let's do it while we're young and we have energy, you know? So Portland's on the list, and New York is creeping on the list, you guys. Not for a long time. Definitely not for a long time, but like a bucket list, live there for a little bit. And then abroad, of course. Of course, abroad. That's like my end goal plan is living abroad. But we'll see. The tangents I go on. Anyways, we were watching apartment tours in Portland and New York. Let me start filming. I'm just gonna start from the first camera block. Let's go. Hey, I'm putting you guys up here because I have to film it on the floor. Just the first part. Okay, let's film. I'm gonna try one version without any lights so that it matches with what I'm saying. All right, I will meet you guys on the next round of clips. Hey. Okay, I got some of the other clips. What I like to do now is just like sit, especially for branded videos where there's a bit more of a like storyboard and there's approved script sometimes. So I have to now do the voiceover for it first, which is usually my last step, but I'm gonna do voiceover first with the clips that I have and then see where I need to fill in certain clips that best highlight what I'm saying in the voiceover, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna sit here and do that now. All right, y'all, that is a wrap on me. It was at like 2:30, now it's 5:30. I lost a little bit of the good light, so I'm gonna have to do some edits tomorrow morning before I send it off and submit it and film like some final clips. I'm missing like 10 seconds-ish of clips to use, and I feel like I was hitting a wall with my creativity, and so I'm just gonna sleep on it and wake up and try and get some of that back tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow morning I have a really wide open day, which is lovely. Signing off. 5:30, gonna go have more downtime and chill out today instead of just an hour of YouTube videos. I'm gonna go spend time with Ryan, and then Maya gets home tonight, so that'll be fun. Maya will be back. And to wrap up the last bits of work, we're doing the gaming channel segment, so I will take it over to other day me who did that. Okay, let's go. I usually don't film 2 gaming channel videos in a week ever because I only post 1 video in a week. However, I'm trying to revamp. I'm trying to make things a little easier for future me when I have the current day capacity. And so today I'm feeling like I have a little extra energy, and I'm also excited about the game that I'm trying out. And so we're gonna film 2 this week, and that's gonna make things a little easier for future me next week when we have guests coming into town and I have 2 events to go to. So that'll be much easier to not have to think about filming that then. Yeah, so let's get into that. All right, y'all, it's time to record. Here's my setup, if you're curious. Okay, so I have my camera hooked up there. It's like a Canon EOS Mark II, I think. That's my like first ever vlogging camera I ever got for myself, and then I turned it into my streaming camera after a while. This is my recording software. It also was my streaming software when I streamed. It's called OBS. It's just my preferred one, but there are multiple. And then I have this light bar up here. It's just like a rechargeable one. I've had some other plug-in lights, but the rechargeable one doesn't give me any issues with like electric issues, and like sometimes when I plug in a light, there's like a buzz that comes up on the mic. It's the whole thing. So I like this one. It's easier. I just set it up there, take it off, and I don't have to have like a whole ring light setup that is there on a regular day basis, like when I'm just sitting here working. So just try to minimize the footprint of my gaming channel setup. Here's the game. I always have it on the right screen, and then I have recording on the left, and so I'm usually like looking over here, and then I only have to look over here just to make sure everything's working okay. It used to be during streaming I'd be looking over here to look at chat and all that, but then I'd be looking over here for the game. But now, simple. Just looking at the game. I have this Shure SM7B mic. I used to have a pod mic for the longest. That was like the one I saved up for and was so excited to get my own mic. But now I have this one. This was like a very nice upgrade. It sounds lovely. This is kind of like the official, I don't know, like podcaster mic. And then I have it hooked up to this audio interface over here. I have this ambient light there, and then this beacon mic arm, and that's kind of it. I hook my headphones up, my Sennheiser, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, headphones up to the audio interface that the mic goes in, and when I'm playing a Switch game, I just have the dock over there, and that's connected to a video capture device, and the camera is also connected to a separate video capture device for cameras. I think that's everything. If anyone's asked about that before, I hope that's everything. Yeah. Oh, and then I have the camera just on a stand, and then it's sitting on a candle because I needed a little extra height. But it's just on a stand because I used to have this whole like arm for it, and it just got in the way, and I like being able to move it whenever I need to take videos of the setup or anything. So today I'm playing Farm to Table. It's like a farming sim mixed with a restaurant manager, it seems like. So hence Farm to Table. So we'll see. There's supposed to be co-op eventually, but this is early access. So yeah, just trying this out. I tried out Paralives yesterday, which came out early access recently, and that's like the Sims competitor basically. And I'm just so glad that there's a Sims competitor now. I'm just so glad. It's not perfect. It's in early access. There's like so much to be done there. And if you want my full review of it, I have the video up already. Yeah, I'm just glad there's a Sims competitor. That's all, because I've been disillusioned with Sims and I haven't played it for, I couldn't tell you the last time I picked it up. Had over 6 months, honestly. Yeah, that's that on that. I'm gonna get into recording. Hi, cozy friends. I will see you guys next week. I love you. Stay cozy. Bye. Woo. All right, y'all. The gaming channel video is done. It feels so nice to have that done early, and just another thing I don't have to double up on next week, and I could just get ahead the next week. And that's always nice. So I'm going to call it quits for today. So is Azula, because it is now 7:30, and I will see you guys for the next activity. I really absolutely did not feel like working out today, doing any form of movement at all. And so I said, okay, if we're not gonna do a full workout, we're not gonna do our full like strength workout, let's at least just go walk. And so I came down, I got on the treadmill, I put on some vlogs that I wanted to catch up on, and I walked for 45 minutes. By the time I knew it, it was over, it was done. So that's another way that I'm trying to approach, getting my life together, getting out of a rut, getting back on track with things, but with a little bit of softness and gentleness, because it doesn't have to be the absolute max of what you're expecting out of yourself. You can just show up in the smallest way. So let's move from this to the next thing I've been doing every morning, which is watering the garden. That's my first time using that Ninja. It's not yet 9 a.m. It's okay. I got it in PR, and I'm so glad I did, because we were seriously considering it for a while. I was like chatting with a Ninja rep at some event, I forget, and he almost sold me on it. He was like, yeah, you don't have to move the thing, and it just does the foaming for you, and like all that blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's the exact thing that I have a mental block on, and why I don't make matchas at home as much as I would like to, because I just don't want to have to deal with the milk of it all. So I was like, I had it in my wish list for months and months. And I'm so glad I didn't get it, because they sent it to me randomly. I don't think I've ever gotten anything from them before. They randomly DM'd me and were like, hey, you want this? I was like, yeah, I absolutely do. Ryan's like ecstatic about it, because he loves coffees and espresso and stuff, but y'all know I don't drink coffee. And so I was like, well, I'll just use it for the foam. This is perfect. Now all I have to do is make my matcha. I just tried the foam and it's perfect. It's so quick. And so maybe I can get back to my regular morning matchas. And I like the warm one right now, since it's a little cooler in the days instead of iced. So I'm just gonna do some planning, some work here before I jump into making some breakfast. Something I've been trying to do is like splitting up my admin work into times when it's, I don't know, like not as rigid. Also just an update on the social media break. Still going strong, still like, so my heart is still so in it of just like, oh my God, I really don't want to get back on there. I don't want to ever scroll again in my life. Like, oh, and like I said, I do still have YouTube. So I'll have like 4 to 5 YouTube videos a day that I save and watch, either like at lunch or at the end of the day or during my walks on the treadmill. But other than that, I'm not doing any kind of scrolling. Even Pinterest, I stopped doing scrolling on Pinterest. I turned off my like recommended ads on everything. I set my YouTube Shorts time to 0, and and I'm bricking my phone every day. My update last time was that like the gusto is a little bit gone from it, and like I'm feeling a little like the excitement isn't there as much, but like the hope and the motivation is still there. The thing that I was dealing with last week and honestly still part of this like weekend, and I'm hoping that changes this week, is that I think my like brain, my dopamine receptors and everything is like messed up. And I was looking this up because I was so tired. I was like, I had to like take naps 2 days in the third week of the break, the detox. I had to take naps, and I don't do that. I don't take naps, and like not in a like. I think naps are great. I think everybody should take naps if your body is telling you to take a nap. But like my body never tells me to take a nap. I just am not like a napper. I have a very like rigid sleep schedule, and it works really well for me. And I get tired at like 9:30, 10, and I wake up at 6:30 like every single day. Like that is just my sleep schedule, and I never get fatigued during the day enough to take a nap. But last week I was so tired. Like I couldn't like lift a finger to do things, but I had to do them anyways. And then I was like trying to balance like, okay, listen to my body. But then like it was like, if I listened to my body, I literally wouldn't do anything all week. And I couldn't do that because I had stuff to do. It was this weird like push and pull, and I was just so tired. I kept saying to Ryan, like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like I'm a zombie. Like I'm a walking zombie. Like I haven't felt this way since like I dealt with depression back in the day. Like I haven't, this is a new level. I was like kind of scared. I was like, what's going on? Like, am I like, is this a mental health thing? Like, is it a diet thing? Am I like not sleeping? Like what literally was going on? Then it like randomly just hit me like, oh, this has to be related to like dopamine. It has to be related. So I was doing research, and it is apparently, and it apparently also the third week of taking like cold turkey social media break. Third week is the worst because your brain transitions from like, I don't know, I can't explain the science, I don't know, but basically your dopamine receptors are just like fried and craving the like quick dopamine. And so after the third week, like fourth, fifth, sixth week, your brain is like slowly relearning actual like natural dopamine processes. And I'm sure even with spicy brain it could be even worse too, which I didn't even think about. So yeah, that is something to think about if like you have the capacity for that right now. Like if you have been like, I want to do this, maybe it's easier to like wean yourself off or something rather than cold turkey. For me, I'm a rip the band-aid person, but this is awful. It's awful. If you have anything important to do, if you have like a test to study for, this is not the time to do cold turkey. It's been really rough. So I've just been like trying to like push through it and like actually giving myself rest, because clearly my body is just looking for something, I don't know. And then trying to find like natural sources, like healthy balanced sources of dopamine through like certain kinds of meditation and just like regular hobbies and stuff. Yeah, but I will say I am starting to feel a little bit better, like slowly. So I think the fourth, fifth, sixth week projection is correct, but it's just like, oh my god, it's just like knowing I have to get through this is rough. And it also makes me never want to pick up a phone to scroll ever again, because this is what it's doing to my brain. That's scary. That's truly scary. And even if it's in like little I don't know. Yeah, I don't I'm scared for life. Consider me scared straight. Anyways, I'm gonna get to some admin work, but those are my updates on my social media cleanse. I guess that's probably the better word for it, huh? Social media cleanse. Alright, you guys, the next section is my home stuff that I want to revamp, reset, refresh. One of the things I want to do is scan a bunch of pictures. Here's a little picture of me doing some boxing. Here's a picture of me and my brother. Here's a picture of me as a cat in the Nutcracker. You get the point. I have a lot of pictures that I want to scan my brother when he was little. Me as a baby. So my mom dropped off a bunch of these, and I just want to scan my favorites. I have a stack of my favorites. The rest are in just looks like a memento box. The memento box is a future project of like going through and Swedish death cleaning style, like really getting it down to just a shoebox eventually. But for now, just starters, I'm gonna scan my favorite pictures just so that I can feel safe that those are always safe somewhere. But first I wanna do the one area of my house declutter. The declutter of one area of my house. Maya's gonna help me. We're gonna do something in the garage. I kind of want it to be the stack of miniatures that we got from Maya's aunt that have just been sitting there, and it takes up so much space, and we've both been like, what if we really get into miniatures one day? Okay, what if? Now it's like taking up so much space. So I think we're gonna go through that, see if there's like anything we really can't part with. But at this point, if we get into miniatures, we get into miniatures. That's a whole other thing, but I don't think we're gonna keep these things. So then it's just a matter of like taking a picture and posting that to be picked up somewhere. So one area of my home declutter, this is what it's gonna be. Let's go. All right, you guys, here is the stack. That one is something else on the very bottom, but this one, that one are all miniatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 boxes. And yeah, I think we can just get rid of them, but we will see. We'll go through. All right, y'all. I have another little matcha, but let's just dive into the first box. There's also a box here that says Black Bookcase Decor. That's from the move. That's the last box we never unpacked from the move, which means it's been in here for over a year now. I'm nearly positive we can declutter literally everything in that box. We haven't touched it or thought about it. So yeah, let's start there actually. Ooh, all right. Oh, you can't see me. I think I'm also gonna start loading other things into the car because we just keep slowly adding things to our donation pile. So let me do that. Alani always sends us PR packages. We love Alani, but I don't drink energy drinks, but Maya and Ryan both do. They rip through them. And then whenever they DM me, I'm like, yes, like whatever you have, send it over. And then every time they come in, Maya and Ryan are like, oh, what are the flavors? Like, what are the new flavors? If you're an energy drink person, shout out Alani, I guess. I don't know. My heart would explode if I... Oh, wow. Yeah. Every single one of these things. Except I did get this in Italy. Take a picture, send it on. It served me well. These candles and matches are helpful, actually. Alright, this is going to the donation center. A lot of cute things, just things we never used.
5 chairs.
5 chairs. Yeah, this is what mine is.
This is my haul. Add a little
yellow
sip.
chairs, some bookmarks.
And I will be leaving them around the house in secret.
You put your little guys on them.
Yep. Oh, I will. Some of them are for not for sitting.
Yeah.
And some of them are for sitting.
And this is the chair that I kept. Oh my gosh, you guys, we actually ended up going through so much of the garage stuff that like we took half the day doing that, and we did way more than we planned to. We went through all the miniatures, and then we went through all of this other set of things I had for a completely different day, and then we went through all of the like backstock things we have and organized that and moved like everything. So I think instead of doing picture scans right now, I'm gonna do Facebook Marketplace listings, get those things out of there that we didn't donate and we wanna just put on Facebook Marketplace. So I think I'm gonna sit down for a sec, do that, and then leave it at that. I honestly, we got through like 2 to 3 days worth of decluttering in one day. So I'm proud of us. I think that's enough home revamps for now. So let me do some Facebook Marketplace. All right, y'all, it's time to take myself on a little solo date, a little romanticized solo date. Alone time that is also intentional and cutesy and fun and whimsical, and not just alone time that, you know, I'm used to at home. And I love that alone time, that's good too, but sometimes I have to have a little whimsy to my solo time, so let's go. I have a little stack of all the things that I'm gonna bring with me. I have my daily diary so I can catch up with that, and a book and a sketchbook. That's all I'm bringing. I also remembered I need to drop off my ballots, or our house's ballots, and there's a ballot drop box kind of close by, so we're gonna try and find it at the city hall. I spot a wildflower garden. I'm going over. had such a restful day that now I have energy to go to the grocery store. Look at my little... All right, let's go. All right, y'all, the hobby I want to spend time on tonight it's cooking. Do you think that would ever come out of my mouth? I don't think any of the OGs would ever think that would come out of my mouth. But it is a hobby I used to love when I was younger. I would say like 17 through 22. I loved to cook and I loved to experiment, and then I just started hating it. And maybe it was that attention span. Lately I've been like, I'll do a little something. I'll do a little cookie cook. So I want to make one of the recipes that I used to love to make in college. It's like this little stir-fried turkey thing. So let's go. All right, y'all, I want to end this vlog with a little intention setting because we did so much. We bipped and bopped all around the house and we revamped a bunch of areas in my life. It's made me want to reflect on some things and set some intentions for the rest of the year. So I'm just gonna type them on the computer really quickly, like make it easy on me. I'm gonna say revamp intentions for the rest of 2026. So let's see where we started. Okay, we started with my routine, which really showed me that a routine is not static, and I just need to keep workshopping it throughout my life, and that's okay. Like I don't know that I'm ever going to be somebody that has the exact same routine every single day for the rest of my life. I would like to get a general like flow and a general ability to like check the set list of things I have off. What order that comes in and what is included in that list is always going to change, I think, for me. And that's good. It's good to know that about yourself, but still accommodate that and then create a system where you can have some sense of stability. I just watched a video on the importance of ritual and how repetition in your rituals and in your routines creates a sense of meaning and purpose. And I thought it was so fascinating because I feel like we often think of routine as like mundane and something that like hold you back more than it is providing something for you. And this video was talking about how you drawing from like philosophers' theories and things like that, just touched on the premise of like routine and ritual gives you meaning in that you are present. I think it's really like a focus on your presence in your life and not trying to reinvent the wheel every day, not trying to seek newness and newness and newness, because continually seeking newness then but becomes the routine in and of itself, and that kind of spirals into weird things, continuing to like want more and more and more and more. The premise is like if you instead reject that and focus on the presence of life in your routine and like the repetition in that, there's like a meditative presence and meaning to that. I don't know if if that resonates with anyone. It resonated with me a bit. Like, I feel like not completely, but there were definitely things of value I drew from that. And it was the idea that ritual doesn't have to be like boring, and repetition doesn't have to be mundane. It can be something that is like actually serving you. I think that's my takeaway from my routines. So I'm gonna write that down. And then we moved on to our budget, which has just been so helpful. And since we chatted about it, we've as a house sold like so many more things, and our fund, little selling fund, the fund has grown so much. And so now we just have this like little stack of cash that we got just from selling things, just stuff around our house that would have just been sitting there. And then we would have eventually just like donated it in a rush when we moved to the next place or whatever. Like, instead, we got a little bit of that back, and we get to spend it on ourselves doing something that we're excited about. So that's been fun. And then just reevaluating my goals in general and creating more of a structure and an excitement around budgeting rather than like a dread around it. That has been such an important change and shifted my perspective on it and mentality around budgeting and money and everything. I'm just going to write continuing that connection to my spending habits and all of that, and continuing to check in with myself throughout the year on my changing goals. Are they still changing? Are they changing even more? Do they look different than before? And like not having to subscribe to like sunk cost fallacy of, because I put so much time and effort into like this lifestyle, I can't now shift to a different one because I want something different now, So always allowing for change, and always allowing for, it could be just lateral change, or it could be like growth, however you're viewing it and however you're seeing your shifting goals. But yeah, that's what I'm writing down. Okay, then we moved on to work. We just, got some things done and really tapped into a little creative moment. So I think what I want to write down for this is just like embrace creativity, embrace the fun and exciting bits, because that's why I do this. Okay, next we touched on like movement routines and morning routines of like going out and watering the plants in the morning, which I've been doing every morning. And that has really been a new ritual for me that has changed the game. Like, I don't know what it was. There was something about doing the same task every day that caused such a like anxious dread in me. And I really do. Again, you guys are gonna get tired of me saying this. I really do think it's that damn phone. Like, my brain was conditioned, and still is. Like, I'm still removing myself from that. Conditioned to continually seek novelty, to continually seek dopamine hits and like quick new things, fresh things. And so the thought, like my brain saw repetition and routine as like a threat, and like almost like holding me back from what my brain really wanted, when that's not what I want. Like, that's just what scrolling and algorithms and all of that have taught my brain that I want. And so, yeah, taking out that factor has like genuinely changed the way that my brain is working. And it's so fascinating to like watch. It's fascinating to like step back and like look at the ways that I've changed so much just in the past month from changing just small things. So I'm going to say continuing to keep up with movement and do it in ways where I'm like meeting myself where I'm at. And it doesn't always have to be, it's like the vegan plus bacon theory, like it doesn't always have to be perfect. You just have to show up a little bit, and it's more about the like consistency and the showing up for yourself and the proving yourself that you show up for yourself, rather than it is doing it perfectly and the best every single time. Because if you don't meet that, you're gonna stew in shame and be like, well, I'm never gonna do it again. So meeting ourselves where we're at, and finding presence and enjoyment in little rituals. Okay, then we checked in about social media usage. It's a little over a month later. I'm out of that like dopamine withdrawal that I was having, like where I was just so tired. Like that was really scary, honestly. And now I'm past that, and I'm again feeling better and feeling like, yay, I'm so excited I'm doing this. My brain genuinely feels different, and everything I already talked about, I want to continue doing this forever. I cannot see going back. Like it genuinely like scares me. I feel like I was slowly poisoning my brain. And now I can't wait to see what me from a month from now looks like even. Like, that's going to be so different. So continuing on this journey is what I'm writing down. Okay, then for our home declutter, I feel like really the takeaway there is just always declutter. Always be decluttering. Like, there's always something to look around and say, I don't need this. I can sell this. I can give it away to somebody who's going to use it more than me. If I'm not going to use it in the next 2 to 3 months, I don't need it unless it's, something seasonal. And even then, I want to really comb through our seasonal stuff soon and declutter a lot of that. If I had to pick up and leave today, what would I take with me? What's actually important and what's not? And what am I seeking to bring into my life? And like, what are the motivations behind that? Is it that I actually need it? Is it that it's going to make my life better and improve things? Or is it that I saw someone else have it and I want it? Is it that I got told I need it from a targeted ad? Is it that I'm being sold like an identity that I need to try and upkeep on this like forever hamster wheel of upkeeping identities? What's the reason you're bringing it in? And then to stop the influx to begin with, and then looking around at the stuff you already have and pushing out whatever you don't need. That's my continued journey. I have so much more to declutter in this home with a finer and finer comb each go through. So then next we had some solo time. We talked about how I love my solo time. I really value my solo time, and I usually do it at home in the comfort of my own home and comfort space and activities, but like that can be romanticized sometimes, and that can be brought outside in like the same way that you would treat a friend, the same way you'd say to a friend like, let's go do XYZ, let's change it up. You can do that with yourself too, and I feel like I just had such a good time there, and I definitely want to do that more and more, especially now that I'm like journaling a lot more and like reflecting and having a lot of internal time with myself. I would love to do that outside the house. So I'm gonna set that intention. And then hobbies. I was so excited to do a little bit of cooking. You guys know me. I never thought I would say that. And so really just like exploring hobbies that I didn't have the mental space and capacity to enjoy, and trying those again, returning to those, but also just like approaching the hobbies that I know that I do love now with a presence and a sense of like, this is the whole point. This is the whole point. The point is to have fun, and I'm not like rushing through this as another checkbox on my to-do list for today. So really just like keeping that front of mind. That's my intention. And that's everything, y'all. I am so proud of us for this little revamp. I feel like there was a lot of self-truths and like realizations that have come from this. And I hope that the same has happened for you. I hope that in this you've been inspired in little ways to just like look at your routines, look at your life, and see if there's anything that you can change your perspective on, or like just shift in little tiny ways. It doesn't have to be huge overhauls and revamps. Nothing has to be like, I'm failing and I have to get my life together because I'm just failing at everything. No, it's like, it's a soft and gentle and compassionate look at your life, look at your routines to see, where can I like hug myself a little tighter throughout the days? Where can I support myself and care for myself a little bit better? And if I feel like I'm not thriving in some areas, like, why is that? Reflecting on why, reflecting on the levers that you can pull to make it easier for yourself to show up for yourself in those ways, rather than beating yourself up for not showing up. Like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. There's something happening where you don't have the capacity. And so like solving for that capacity issue rather than beating yourself up for not having the capacity, because that's not going to work. You're still not going to have the capacity. So compassion, gentleness, hugs to ourselves, reflection, all of that, always important. Y'all know I always say that, but let me know one area that you're planning on revamping and one area that you've been like, oh my God, hold on, I've been a little mean to myself. Let me know, and I will see you guys next week. I love you so much. Stay cozy. Bye.